Hey guys, welcome to the third part of the Danger Creepypasta series with over 40 entries this time. So maybe grab a snack like popcorn or something. Also, by the way, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support with the last two parts. I'm trying something different for part 3. So I'm going to be putting the creepypastas into like 5 tiers. The tiers are 1. Not too scary. 2. Decently scary. 3. Scary. 4. Really scary. And 5. Horrifying. Also, just so you know, these are not ranking how bad or good the creepypastas are. I just wanted to say that. One more thing before we actually get into the video. The things I put in each tier are my opinion, things I found scary. It is completely fine if you don't find them as scary or find them scarier. Anyways, that's it. This intro's getting a little bit too long for my liking, so let's just get into the video now. Tulip is a hostile ghost that usually targets experienced players. She really hates players, like really hates them. Despite the fact that Tulip dislikes to be summoned and she doesn't like players, to summon Tulip it's pretty easy. You must be Boxin or Tisha and spam Tulip, then hide somewhere in Shelly's map. You'll hear ambience or weird sounds, that means she's here. Tulip doesn't target Boxin players, it's unknown why. An unknown Roblox user was going to create a Dangerous fan game, and he decided to put an Easter egg called Tulip Tisha in the game, as a joke creepypasta, that once touched would teleport you to the actual Danger World, except the unknown user would mess up in the code, not only making Tulip Tisha herself teleport to Danger World, but he also made her think, see, move like a normal human. He made her a living creature. Now how would you go and accidentally code that? I just gotta say that. Tulip teleported to the private server someone named Box Cat Lover Joy while he was hunting Funny Bunny. Boxing Cat Lover Joy thought Tulip Tisha was just another Bloomeroo, but Tulip Tisha quickly introduced herself to chat. She said that her name was Tulip, and Boxing Cat Lover Joy told Tulip his name was Joy. They quickly became friends. Joy was also a good coder that liked to exploit. They would do stuff together, such as talk, tell each other jokes. Joy even spawned a 3D free model of sheets of paper and a free model of a pen so Tulip could draw. Joy even spawned a monitor where he and Tulip could watch TV shows together. But they especially liked to hunt ghosts the most. While Tulip was scared, Joy wasn't. One time when Joy and Tulip were hunting Mesh, a weird TV appeared with an X and some text on the screen. As Tulip was hiding, Joy wanted to take a screenshot and Joy would start melting. The boxing was melting like ice. It was terrifying. Tulip was traumatized, and once he melted, he wasn't online, just an Iker puddle. After that, Tulip would either draw or summon ghosts she could talk with. She used the monitor as a computer to get ghost info off this wiki. It wasn't until Tulip would meet a weird boxing somewhere near the tree in the lobby. It was a snow-like boxing that communicated through chat. He said that he was Joy. The weird V put his soul in a scrapped boxing skin model left in the game files. That was supposed to be the Christmas boxing skin. And he was forced to suffocate here forever, but Tulip's code, the teleport player to Danger code, it saved him, teleported him to the game. Now he's Tulip, just like her. Yay! He also told Tulip that the weird V was looking for Tulip since she saved Joy. She came. The weird V. I thought it was gonna be my end, but Joy said that he prefers to die instead of me. He sacrificed himself. I was crying, sobbing, tears all over me, but Joy was proud. He slowly vanished as I cried more, and he vanished. The V disappeared. As my tears, my hatred, my anger, it took over me. Now I'm just anger, trying to get revenge. I hate players. I hate everyone. It's all their fault. Sorry. Joy, why did you do that? Anyways, here's Tulip's opinions on Blue Motos. Mesh? He's really selfish, I'd say. Or at least he was before he found that TV guy. Brosint? I'm sorry. Alice Cole. Interesting one here. For funny, I will say it, I guess. Alice Cole solos. I saved you, and you don't even bother to thank me? You're better off with Scant anyway. She loves you more than she ever loved any of us. Not much is statistically known about this ghost, but one of her finders is informed that she lives in gloom and feeds on envy. Despite the illustration on the info box, she is extremely shy and does not like being screenshotted or summoned. Don't be a fool, it is not recommended to do this. She was first encountered by an accidental summon, according to lost media footage. She only appears if you have encountered Dolor before. There's currently no found way to summon her without her counterpart. Stark Shelly is only triggered in runs. You must be in or over floor 13. There is a very low chance of you being summoned in the Hermitage if you move in this order. Wassaddasyassad. Once you have triggered her, you'll be teleported to the Hermitage, and are only able to leave once you've interacted with Stark Shelly. Here's the conversations. I would never scaremonger. This is all really happening. While it is true that television is driven by a trickster lord, I will not deny that they have offered me what I seek. Your kind is quite interesting to me. You find calm, peaceful places and infest it with your filthy words. Wow, thanks. It's an insult to my upbringing, what I've endured. I'm a disgusting wretch. I deserve to feel free. Okay, suggesting a conversation? Fine. All of this is pointless. Is this really needed? Ugh, so persistent, flesh bag. Starting the conversation. Make it quick. Make it snappy. Don't ask anything personal. Let's get this started, shall we? Ended the conversation. Took long enough. This won't change anything. Alright then, refusing a conversation. You are none the wiser to dance with death. Nope. I kindly refuse. I do not believe in the concept of information. Additional player joining during a conversation. Leaving. I got better things to do right now. Huh? Farewell now. I mustn't be seen. Talking about distortion. Are you angry? Scared? Helpless? Equal minds share equal plans. Equal minds share equal lives. Quite the interesting guy. Talking about Mondon. Scrubbing away scars. So fearful. Multiple little holes. Mondon, a unique one. Talking about Dolor. I do enjoy Dolor's sense of nihility. It's quite refreshing. She knows a lot about me and the others. So nosy. It's cute. Wait, what? Who said that? They're so lesbian. Dolor. Oh, such a sweet one. Anything about Slushy. Puny. Small, fragile being. One swipe of the paw and it shrivels. A buffet of endless cotton and a blank mind to feed off of. Such a drag. Anything about Mesh? Ugh. Oh, I've heard about him. His relationship with Dolor is a little one-sided, huh? Deceiving others in the hopes he can blend in. His acts of responsibility bore me. Anything about Bloody Eye Shelly? Annoying. The rivers will run red once I'm finished with you. I enjoy our conversation. What a horrible excuse for a living being. I'll leave you a special place in the dark wasteland. Anything about Vane V? Ah, Vane V. She and I go way back. The snapped wires and shattered head really suited her. It's a shame I can't rip them apart again. Hasn't the past treated us both so poorly? She should be thankful, getting to taste the own fruit of my own labor, but no. Her greed was too much to bear for death, wasn't it, machine? Damn. She should have been thankful. I granted her the freedom I crave, but she just had to come back and stare at me with that same face. Anything about naivete? In my personal form, I can rip it to shreds, and I'd feel no emotion, just the pain though. I'll restrain. Her label matches her quite well. I try to push her away, but she seems to not give up. Ugh. I must admit, she's quite adorable. Okay. Anything about Junana? Honestly, I don't like that guy at all. I'd sooner tear my flesh apart than speak of my experiences to you, hive mind. Even if they are simple, the fact that they can achieve something baffles my mind. A curious one. Anything about Duval? I wonder for how long we can hold each other from ripping our own organs out. I see nothing ahead of her. She may end up in a walkless trance of nothingness. Then she truly is naive to the feeling of dread. How idiotic. Life is so simple to you royal ones. I would be lying if I said I did not envy the feeling. Anything about imposter Bobbit? Do feelings like herself ever stimulate sleep, or dream for that matter? All that has happened to you was inevitable. I feel bad, I must say. I truly think she is horrible, a deplorable beast that feeds on the fear of others. I wonder how it feels to live in the palace with shelter that isn't quite a freezer. Ugh. Anything about bone/silhouette? I've seen the horrors they put you through, and the pain you put yourself in. It's amusing. It feels so refreshing to have something in common. The reject, huh? It's funny. How something so pure would be scrapped. What a shame. Heard about his name from far away. Couldn't hold back a chuckle. Anything about pedomaniac? Oh, that's from part 2. Yeah. Or part 1. I don't remember. Truly a vile and wretched being. It sickens me. I wonder if he's part of what he's become. Undeserving of his gift, but alas, the disgusting beings follow my species will use anything for evil. Anything about Barry Hunter. We both are equal. Kindness has taught me to never trust another, not ever again. How gruesome! All this time in the world, and yet it's wasted. You attack what you fear. Stark Shelley has around 2 DUIs. Stark Shelley's Hermitage plays background music. The background music can be found here somewhere, I don't know where. A moderate amount of Stark Shelley's voice lines are based off or are almost identical to follies from a separate Roblox game. Oh my god, Regretivator. Stark Shelley is sapphic. She also has a brother named Ostery, who is transgender. This is not visible in her mugshot, but This is not noticeable at first glance, but her dress is not the same as Shelley's. She has not much affiliation with other Blue Montos other than Mesh, Delore, Vainby, and possibly Navete. She has granted the name Stark Shelley by one of her founders because she is notably taller and harsher than her counterpart. Her real name is Crisp. Stark Shelley does not like being color inverted. She does not like being a living being in general. She thinks Pebble Blamontos are cute, but she finds no reason to keep them as pets. She does not like other Blamontos. She only likes Delore, according to her interviews. It is unknown if she likes any other Blamontos. It has been noted that Stark Shelley and Delore seem to have a platonic or even romantic relationship. Knew it. It's none of your business. Stark Shelley is part of a cult. You don't need to see this. You don't need to see this. Stark Shelley died due to a knife to her throat after disrespecting the beliefs to her cult as a deputy. Unaware, hyper-intelligent Blamonto, or artificial intelligence, Delore is eternally trapped within the confines of Dangerworld, specifically its files. Delore tends to prefer her own company over the company of others, spending most of her time in the library of a home, gathering intel on various other Blamontos, phenomena, and whatnot. She tasks herself with educating creepypasta hunters and unfortunate victims of hostile Blamontos, and on occasion pulling them out of danger to maybe even rest in her library. However, do not take her hospitality for granted. Her personality changes often, and her appearance may vary as well, so take these descriptions with a grain of salt. I do have to admit, I got quite a few too many uppercase extremities. Like previously mentioned, Delore's appearance may vary, but it's very consistent. She appears as a vintage Shelley with a few tweaks to her model that often change. True form. Delore's true form resembles vintage Shelley, like her in general, with a large black curved growth akin to a horn that has a light bulb strapped to it atop her head. A half of her face is black and seems to have white long fangs. Delore is always seen wearing glasses, no matter what form she's in. Her body is rather long in this form, as well as comically bendy, covered in a long black cloak in a white trim. Under said cloak, many black tentacles seem to stick out when her cloak is off. Instead of hands, there's simply many bug-like appendages. In this form, she's seen with a big black scarf that tends to act like her arms, at times. Pretty cool, huh? She's often seen in this form, at least when the player is around. Lesser form. Literally just a short vintage Shelley with 4 arms, a big black scarf, a horn very similar to the one in her true form, with a big half of her face being black. No wonder she's rarely ever encountered in this form. When a player is in danger, be it an unfortunate soul that has fallen victim to a hostile Blamonto, or a hunter doing this intentionally, there is a somewhat high chance that Delore may appear. In a short amount of time, said player will be teleported to Delore's library, formerly known as Delore's Zone, at her table to be specific. She'll have enough courtesy to introduce herself and pretty quickly get into educating the player. Do be warned though, she tends to whip out a random book from her shelf and read it to you, the player in the scenario, for a pretty long period of time. If not reading a book or file, she'll directly turn towards the player and speak to them, as if directly addressing the person behind the screen. If she does neither of those, she'll just walk away and let you observe a corkboard from behind her, which will oddly enough always have information on the Blamonto you encountered. Weird. After that period of educating, she'll either A, let the player walk around her library freely until they decide to leave on their own, or B, kick them out almost immediately. It mostly depends on how the player behaved. She obviously prefers those who are polite. Real. Sometimes she can even be encountered after dying in a normal run, but that is extremely rare and only seems to happen when there is an undetected Blamonto present in the round. After educating the players, she can also be seen wandering around the library, either tidying up or just checking things out. She can also be interacted with and asked questions about Blamontos and whatnot. Do not expect her to answer if you're deemed as impolite by her though. actual personality. A polite gentleman, to say the least. Dolores might not seem emotional at all, but she has a clear passion for educating others and learning. Or maybe just yapping. Pick your favorite out of these. Her personality varies depending on how the player behaves. She tends to be more sympathetic and patient for those who are seen as nice by her. She likes talking and has admitted to partake in people watching, or Blamonto watching in her case. She tends to speak in rhymes, enjoys tidying up, and cleanness in general, likes to quiet and enjoys reading. Dolores can bypass the chat and can speak in multiple languages as well. When asked why and how she can, she simply stated that it's for those who cannot understand English. Epic sob story to cry yourself to sleep with. I was made by someone who wasn't really right in her mind. I had no clue what she planned at that time. I wasn't sentient after all. Oh Dorothy, you sick loon. Look what you brought upon everyone, you selfish excuse of a person. Life should have been given to someone who'd appreciate it, not throw it away for some sick fantasy. But, oh well, you achieved your goal. Just not in the way you hope you would. Oh my god, Dolores is embarrassed by her lesser form and would be uncomfy in her true form around some other Blamontos. She in general doesn't feel comfy in any of her forms most of the time. Dolores has a thing for stark chili. If you know, you know. Yeah, I know. Dolores is extremely lonely most of the time. She yearns for freedom and is basically ready to do anything to achieve it. Dolores appears to be a sentient AI, although it is unknown who made her and what caused her sentiency. Dolores has eyes everywhere. It might not seem like it, but she's always watching. Oh? Dolores fears stronger Blamontos, even though she knows most of them do not know she exists. Nor can they really reach her. She can do a cartwheel. Woo! Dolores enjoys classical music. She has a whole room full of radios in her library. Most of the radios are broken though. She hates the loud noises. They trigger her. She knows more than she's letting on. 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 She knows more than she's letting blah blah blah. Dearest is a Shelley-themed entity who currently resides in a private game that can only be accessed by summoning her. Dearest seems to only show interest in interacting and talking with hunters, and possibly used to be a hunter herself before becoming Dearest. The surface she resides in seems to be a neighborhood map she took off the toy box. She lives in one of the offices and can often be seen walking around the empty neighborhood looking around at the place. If a player is to enter the game she resides in, she will often invite them into her house and talk and drink tea. Not much is known about what her original identity was before becoming Dearest. Perhaps we need to interview her more. Summoning info. Load into a Danger private server. Walk underneath the tree. Walk around it 6 times. Then type in chat, "May I see you?" If you're suddenly teleported to a new game, then it has worked. She will kick or ban people who are mean to her from the game. Love Hearts, also known as Hearts Lover 99X, or by her real name, Hanako, is an anomaly of possible Japanese origins that only appears to players with severe mental health issues. It is currently unknown how she died, but due to her constantly talking about a green shrimp with tons of eyes, it's possible Damien has some involvement in it. She appears to be a pink cocoa with strange weird triangular eyes, with rectangular black pupils and a sharper mouth texture. She speaks not only well-versed English, but also fully fluent Japanese. Or she may also speak with emoticons under the Hearts Lover 99X persona. She doesn't really like to talk about her past life, but she will often talk about how much she enjoys the company of other friendly entities, but despises all shrimpo ones, friendly or not. Aside from Dangerald, she can access other games but keep her model. She can appear in games like Outcome Memories, Polar Chase 2, SCP Roleplay, Marvelous Smackdown, Natural Disaster Survival, Sword Fights on the Heights, and more. She can steal vessels from other Dangerald creepypastas not as strong as her. She has a hatred towards all Shrimpo Dangerald creepypastas, because it reminds her of Demian. This version of the character was canonically an adult before they died. This reminds me of that one Sonic creepypasta, the Amy one. Yeah. Felicitas is a Yada Blamonto rarely accessed via roleplay mode. It is seemingly docile and capable of sending players to other Roblox experiences. When encountered, all control over the game will entirely cease. The player is completely unable to move their tune, turn their camera, chat, or even open the Roblox menu. This effect usually takes hold shortly before Felicitas appears on screen, usually rounding a corner. It appears Felicitas is client-sided, so only the player is interacting with will be able to see it. Creepypastas will slowly approach the camera as game audio fades. It will then sit there, almost completely still, staring directly at the camera exponentially. From here, the player will be able to type in chat again, but messages still can't be sent. Nothing will happen until the player types the ID of a Roblox experience, then this happens. Creepypastas will nod curtly before transferring the player to the desired location, summoning information. Creepypastas is only encountered within roleplay mode while playing as Yada. It is much easier to spot within public servers. The first sign of its presence is player counts within the teleportation menu. Extremely rarely when loading in, the player's teleportation UI will be temporarily altered. When opened for the first time, a random map's player count will be set to 0 even if players are present. Clicking away or onto the other options will fix this the next time this menu is opened, nullifying the potential Creepypastas encounter. Clicking the altered button will teleport the character as normal. However, at some point afterwards, Creepypastas will make an appearance. Creepypastas completely disregards tunes, ignoring them entirely in favor of staring at the camera. There are notable similarities between Creepypastas and Yada. Creepypastas spawning conditions likely require the players playing as Yada before they enter roleplay mode, as changing into Yada after entering has historically not worked. Most players who encounter Creepypasta while uninformed of it end up closing Roblox to exit the encounter as they do not understand a place ID as needed. This is due to a complete lack of prompting for it, or due to not having access to Roblox chat. Creepypasta moves in a rather stiff manner, akin to a corpse or someone experiencing claustrophobia. This is most notable in Tails, which is always completely straight. Creepypasta by Concerned Civilian and Ethan Kraft 513. Cookie is an altered, duller version of Ginger, found if a player no-clips through a specific wall in Subplace Maze. Cookie appears as a model of Ginger. Though heavily altered, instead of having red in her design, it is replaced by pink. Her eyes are now pie eyes, resembling the vintage skin of Toon's. Her eyes also appear more dilated, unlike her Toon counterpart. Like Ginger's twisted counterpart, Cookie's blush is smudged. Cookie's color palette consists of a more dullish pink color, unlike the bright red color default Ginger has. Upon entering Cookie's domain, players are greeted by Cookie silently staring at them. Communication with Cookie is done through the chat feature. Unlike other anomalies, they do not communicate through text bubbles. Instead, they write responses on a piece of paper. Unlike other AI, Cookie behaves as if they're sentient. Their messages appear in a player-style chat color. Still, when the player checks on the server list, the player is the only one there. The server's maximum capacity is 1, making it impossible for other players to join. The player may ask Cookie questions about nearly anything, or simply engage in casual conversation. Cookie typically replies with answers such as no, yes, or maybe. If the player asks about Cookie's friends or family, they will respond with I don't know. Persistently pressing them on these topics will result in the player getting kicked with the message stop. If the player attempts to rejoin after getting kicked, the player will instantly be kicked from the game. The kick message may vary, including go away, or I don't want to talk with you right now, or I need space. It typically takes 1 hour for Cookie to calm down again. When the player is able to re-enter Cookie's domain, Cookie's expression appears slightly sad. The player may still ask questions or attempt to talk, but Cookie responds less frequently until they have calmed down. Cookie doesn't have an actual name, we just refer to them as Cookie. I'm pretty sure it's fine with any pronouns is, I don't know. They are stuck in the void. I noticed that their expression saddens when I'm in the living menu. She is a random wiki person's wife. In older versions, Cookie was able to change her wallpaper if the player was playing on the MacBook/PC. Oh? Something bugged in the system and it no longer works. Cookie does not have a mouth. They write onto a paper instead of talking. Cookie misses their cousin. Cosmosis may be related to Cookie, though this may not be true. What's your favorite memory from your childhood, KK? Nostalgia appears as Toodles, although with her normal gray skin replaced with the blue of Toodles' junior detective skin. Nostalgia sometimes appears either dragging around a blue pocket watch or having it strung around her neck like a scarf. This pocket watch resembles Dial. Yeah, that's all. It is a work in progress, so it makes sense for it not to be a lot on it, but I think it has nice potential. Alright, on to the next one. Yada.unloaded is a creepypasta that is a counterpart of Flight.graphics error. Their danger level is 5, because they can lag out your game with a blink of an eye. You can summon her by going to the dial shop, equipping Choco Cones Yetta, and chanting, "Hello, almighty emotionless one. I wish to give up my graphics. Take me away, Soul of Grey." Hopefully that doesn't set a curse on me. Reconnect is an anomalous trinket just recently discovered by SHI. Reconnect was first discovered by two players after they saw what appeared to be a remote on the ground during a Danisville run. When Reconnect spawns, it spawns usually as an item a player or Blomotos is able to pick up. It will replace a player's VMO if it's in use. If not, it will replace the first trinket slot. If a player leaves the game or dies in a run, they will no longer have the trinket, and will spawn elsewhere for another player. Blomotos also have the ability to pick up and use a remote. This was discovered when a player was on an overgrown floor, in which overgrowth was able to pick up the item and use it. Upon interacting with any TV in Danger World, it opens up a menu that players can interact with a channel up, down button, arrow, and select buttons, channel numbers, and more. It's currently unknown most of what the channels equal what locations, but the current channels known are 254, I don't know what that says, 704, Subplace Maze, 931, the Bloomhaven. Originally, it was planned to use Reconnect to safely contain more Blomontos and do more research, as knowledge of it is minimal, but Reconnect has since gone missing from SHI, and its whereabouts are unknown. Winsky is a blot-themed Blomonto who seems to run a bar in a hidden private server, unable to be found by Quill. It's not known why he's here. He doesn't seem to pose an actual threat to anyone. More research may be needed. Winsky is a friendly entity who will often serve drinks to both hunters and Blomontos, friendly or not. If a player is to enter the game, he will often greet them and offer them to have a drink. If the player accepts, he invites them over to sell one of the stalls and will ask you if you would like to explain a story or current going on from your life. Winsky appears as Blot, wearing a black and white version of Exon's glasses and buttoned shirt. He's also always half-lidded. How to enter his bar. Step 1. Go into roleplay mode. Step 2. Go to Sprout's floor and stand in front of one of the counters. Step 3. Now type in chat, "I'd like a drink." If you get sent to another game, it has worked. Near his bar, a radio can be found sitting around, which more often or not plays a random song from very old times. These songs include Midnight, The Stars and You, Minnie the Moocher, Blue Velvet, We'll Meet Again, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. Only a few hunters have ever been banned from his bar, most often caused by messing with him. Big Dreamer is a Blomonto resembling Astro. Big Dreamer is predominantly found in private servers, where he will rarely replace Dial in his store. Big Dreamer was actually first discovered by yours truly. I often play solo runs, meaning I use private servers often. I encountered a Big Dreamer before one of these runs. While there was encounters before this, I was the first one to properly photograph and document his existence. Others followed. Big Dreamer predominantly behaves similarly to other storekeepers. However, unlike others, Big Dreamer sells deals from the wishing well. Choosing to strike a deal will cause a bargaining menu to appear. From here, the player can make requests of Big Dreamer via a text prompt. Big Dreamer would then attempt to haggle with the player, offering different payments and sometimes changing the deal depending on how the player responds. Eventually, when Big Dreamer believes the deal is solidified, you'll get the option to accept. Big Dreamer is capable of doing many favors, but always comes at a cost. Big Dreamer's deals do not seem to be limited to Danger World, but are limited to Roblox. Big Dreamer's deals are quite sleazy, admitting to several shady deals and sometimes misleading or scamming buyers. While there is no way to summon Big Dreamer, it is believed he is most likely to appear if you own game passes. Rarely, when joining a private server, Big Dreamer will replace Dial's store. Big Dreamer's pool of dialogues is extremely large, and changes on the fly depending on the deal. The table below is only every documented piece of dialogue. Unfortunately, most who make more extreme or personal deals with Big Dreamers do not record certain interactions, so this table's scope is limited. It is unclear why Big Dreamers accumulated wealth or by what metric this wealth is being measured, as payment methods vary. Big Dreamer will sometimes attempt to persuade those who like Astro into buying from it, using its resemblance to the character to its advantage. Big Dreamer has made appearances within the Nexus for this reason. It is unclear if there's direct relations, or if Big Dreamer goes there to take advantage of the members. Creepypasta by Cornered Civilian. Well, that's all for tier 1. I really like the creepypastas on this tier, they're very swag. Anyways, it's time for tier 2, aka decently scary, so let's actually go. Yeah. Warning label is a phenomenon that usually precreates Blamonto attacks. It appears out of a fin sticker in the user's bottomless slot, with Fin's face being missing entirely. Some words on the stickers can be missing, but this fluctuates, although it only remains at 3 words maximum. Warning. As of November 4th, 2025, there has been a 120% spike in warning label sightings. Additionally, it has begun to be seen before higher risk attacks. As of November 9, 2025, Warning Label has begun tampering with the game itself to prevent players from causing themselves harm. Following an incident on November 18, 2025, Warning Label now has access to the Roblox chat. Messages sent here warn players. Additionally, it has navigated its way into anomalous HTML files. Warning players, we apologize for the intense addendums added. Please remain vigilant as these settings become more common. Warning Label was first discovered by an anomalous user, just 3 days after the Alpha 0.11.1 update, by an anomalous user in the lobby. Later, the user reportedly was attacked by data expunged. Warning Label acts as a warning predating an attack, typically from more risky or dangerous entities. It seems to replace only a specific slot instead of any others, and only appears on the first page of stickers. It can be used, although it appears just the same as it does in the sticker slot. After the November 9th, 2025 incident, Warning Label has redirected players to a third-party game before teleporting them back to the lobby if they attempt to indulge in an activity that will purposefully result in the summoning of a Blamonto. This seems to also go for activities that brings a player to a Blamonto or external place. Warning Label tends to use specific words to warn players when communicating through Roblox chat. In this, he also seems to have the capability to bypass the Roblox chat filter, as evidenced by his tone when referring to Damien. Warning Label on December 3rd, 2025 found itself a vessel to contain itself in. This model seems to only appear in times when anomalous or external pressure is being applied to a group of players. This model is very unknown, but it has high saturation, a red outline, is faceless, and has no animations. As such, it is stuck in a T position. Warning Label has received its name by allegedly being named a warning label in the game files. There is no proof to back this up, but it's a neat story. Warning Label occasionally fails to appear before a player gets into danger. The sticker slot, when hovered over, expands just like the normal sticker would. Alongside the text, some of the details on its art can be seen fluctuating. Are you ready to hear a cool story? So, before you read, remember this is fictional. How do I start? I've been playing Teenage World for a couple of months now, but somehow something has been bothering me. Everyone's gameplay is clean, but my gameplay feels weird. Every time there's like a yada in my run, they always look pixelated. My screen glitches, the game kicks me out, or bans me for a day even. One day, I decided to talk to my friends about this. My gut always told me this will lead to a non-happy ending. A creepy one, perhaps. But I didn't give up. I decided to tell my friends on Instagram that some sort of yada who has black eyes, black mouth, black tears that bend with the mouth, and pixelated. They told me they remember a yada like that before, but couldn't tell what it was. After talking to my friends, we actually thought we were hallucinating. So we decided to do a little joke ritual in game. We decided to stand on an Iker and roleplay, chose someone to go to the tree, and for us all to go on to Protector Room until something happens. We thought it was a funny idea to make one of our friends creeped out. But until something actually happened. The friend left, never came back. They were removed from our friends list. I searched for her user, but we couldn't find her. We couldn't find her on Instagram too. We thought she deleted her account. We tried it again. One of our friends vanished like her. Our friend group went from 4 to 2. I never went to that private server again. I told what happened to us to the Blunch Crunch studio, but my messages were always deleted. Until someone DM'd me. It was a mod. They said that they weren't allowed to show the truth. I asked about the truth. He said it's a virus they couldn't remove from the tree in every server. Private server or roleplay. Anyone who stepped into that tree got hacked. The mod refused to tell me more, but I forced him to do so. He told me that player was the first person to get Yada. Someone DM'd me again. I'll explain what really happened to the player from what I learned. The Yada was the first person to get Yada, but they got silenced. Banned for griefing. The player wanted revenge, and they cursed the tree behind the Garden View sign. It hides underneath, believing that anyone who stepped into the place of the tree were the admin that banned them. Qual decided to customize the tree every event, but it still stayed. There was no exit from distorted Yada. It would stay in the game forever. That's the word I heard about her. Then I got banned off Discord and Roblox. I was so scared to even play Dangeled after creating a new account. I still wonder to this day, did they actually grief or get falsely accused of it? Anyways, here's some summoning information. Go to an ichor puddle, pick a person. Make them go to the tree. You go to projector room. Wait if the said player has found distorted Yada. For runs, stand in an ichor puddle. An ichor leak. Pick someone to stay at the ichor. It must be a free floor. Then hide somewhere, where you can't see said person, and wait if distorted Yada has found them. The reason why one person needs to stand on an ichor puddle is because distorted Yada doesn't just hurt the tree, it hurts ichor. It owns the ichor and trusts and lives underneath them. Distorted Yada is a creature virus and danger that infects the trees, hurts them, hurts the ichor, and lives underneath them. Anyone who steps in ichor will be banished by Yada without mercy, because the Yada fears that she will die. Every time someone steps in ichor or tree, Yada will lose every piece of her heart, one by one. Hurting her 2 times will anger awake her. Monarch is a large butterfly bomoto, resembling the butterfly with the same name, or at least resembling other representations of monarch butterflies in Dandy's world. Monarch seemingly decides who it appears to. It tends to target players who are newer to the game, seemingly in an attempt to prey on the uninformed. Due to the current state of the meta, these players often happen to be alone. Either way, only the player Monarch is targeting will be able to see it. Monarch will at first take the form of a tip system near the top right of the screen. It will offer random miscellaneous tips throughout the gameplay, alongside positive affirmations. The longer the player lasts, the more advanced and helpful these tips will become. Eventually though, Monarch will start to offer tips that will subtly benefit itself. Specifically, it will disguise its summoning sequence within other pieces of advice. The exact summoning method is going to be omitted for safety, but an example of one of these tips would be a recommendation to use items in a specific order. These patterns being a necessary tip in summoning Monarch. When the player has been tricked into fully summoning it, Monarch will quickly rush in from off-screen and attack the player's tune. From here, the player will be forcefully kicked, receiving error 273. Same account launched game from different device. Reconnect if you prefer this device. The unfortunate victim's Roblox account will have been compromised. There are ways to get it back. But it is best to simply avoid summoning Monarch, ignore its advice. Ignoring Monarch's tips repeatedly will often result in it giving up. Monarch usually refers to the players as Darling. Monarch doesn't match the style of the rest of the game's UI, a suggestion that it's not a normal feature. Conversation with Monarch is possible, but it will not always engage with chat. It is unknown what happens if Monarch is told to their face that the victim is aware of their plan. It's unclear if Monarch's resemblance to Flight and Flutter implies biological relation. It should be noted that the illness 3 seen in the gallery above was unrelated to Monarch. The twins are a commonly encountered entity, but only to players who have boxes unlocked. If you were to encounter them in a run, it is best you try to avoid them by leaving the game. On a random floor, one of the twins can have a chance to spawn, mostly wandering around or watching you afar before disappearing. Most of the time, the twins are peaceful, but if both are on one floor, it is advised you leave. As you are about to enter the elevator, a cutscene will play of the twist is grabbing the player before one of them grabs a knife and slits the throat of before one of them grabs a knife and slits the throat of a player's tune. After that, mere seconds later, the server crashes and your account is deleted. The twins appear as 2 desaturated poppies, both of them having a star-like pupil in one of their eyes, and having 2 bonbons on the side of their heads. They are also seen having a small smirk on their faces. To summon it, players must have box unlocked. They must walk underneath a tree and say in chat, "Will the twins show their faces to me this run? Will you be separate or together?" Then walk into an elevator. The twins are apparently two broken souls apart from a bigger one. The twins never interacted with any other Danger creepypastas. The only one they have ever encountered are Helperbot and Bow Spider. Creepypasta by Griffin 2009. Forgotten Goob is a creepypasta from Dangerworld. The character is known for appearing in the lobby area of the game, often around or after interactions with a user called Silly Moons. Forgotten Goob is infamous for causing unexpected kicks or disconnections from the game. Forgotten Goob appears as a corrupted version of Goob. His face is replaced with a black void, resembling a dark hole, with a single white glowing dot located slightly to the left, around where his eye would normally be. He is missing one arm, and thick streams of ichor are seen pouring from the hole on his face. The overall design gives off a glitched and abandoned look, as if the player was never meant to be loaded into the game. A way to summon it is currently unconfirmed. Most sightings occur when in the lobby, typically when or after the player's Silly Moons is present. Some speculate that staying idle in the lobby for too long may increase chances of encountering Forgotten Goob, but this has not been verified. Ah, Russian! I'm so scared! As shown in her dialogue and information card, Brightney is a smart and helpful toon, like her active ability suggests. She is skilled at solving problems, as well as helping toons out. However, it's likely that she might be overworked at times. Brightney seems to show off her overworked side when she says, "There's always something on my mind to box for," and always have to be 3 steps ahead of those twisteds, which, when paired with the note in the roleplay room with a to-do list, suggests a deeper side of her being overworked. Despite this, she's always ready to help with whatever her fellow toons ask of her, showing her personality as a hard-working and friendly toon. This next one is like a really long read, so like if I stutter and I don't cut it out, that's not my fault. Okay, this is like probably 10 minutes long. Okay, please don't complain. I'm begging you, please.
Dangerworld O.rbxl. I was playing Roblox on my normal account looking for Dangerworld clones to play, but I saw the same things: crappy remakes, rips of the original game, and tycoons pretending to be Dangerworld. But then I found something neat. I saw a game called Dangerworld O.rbxl. The thumbnail was a black and white distorted version of the usual thumbnail. However, the words Dandy's World were absent. Looking closer, the servers only allowed 1 person, which was strange, especially because Dandy's World is a multiplayer horror game. Nonetheless, I played it, expecting a crappy base play of Dandy's World assets on it. Thankfully, I was dead wrong. The lobby was the usual lobby from Dandy's World. However, there were a few minor differences that set it apart from the usual lobby in the actual game. First, the train never went by. It just never showed up. Next, Dandy's shop didn't work at all. This meant I was stuck with using Boxen, which is ironic considering I can't play with anybody to use his ability. There was also not much of a UI, with the only thing being on the screen was the sprint button. Finally, the daily twisted board was blank. It didn't have a twisted on it or anything, not even text. The only thing that stayed was the timer, that ticked down slowly. Eventually, after noting all of these unusual differences, I went to an elevator to start up a run. There was no countdown when I entered, not even a transition effect for starting the game. It just teleported me into the elevator and started up the game. Upon entering the main game, there wasn't a screen for selecting toons or trinkets. It just cut straight to the elevator. Yet again, the UI was bare bones, only showing the bar for completed machines, as well as the sprint button. Once the game loaded the first floor, the elevator door opened, and I stepped out to find machines. Now's a good time to mention that I replayed this game multiple times to see if anything would change, or if what happened was meant to happen every time. I found out that the floors and twisteds were randomized, not we are, but the machine placement wasn't, meaning if I got a certain map multiple times, the machines wouldn't change places. Anyways, on to what I had gathered from the first 3 floors, which was the most normal the game was during all of my playthroughs. Floor 1 was the most normal floor in this experience. The only floors you could get were the rainbow rooms. There were no collectible items on the floors either. No items, no tapes, not even capsules. The floor was clean. Something I had found out was that if a twisted saw you, it wouldn't kick you off the machine to help you get away quicker, which made for some inconvenient scenarios. The skill check mechanic was a lot less common than normal, and when it did appear, it looked like it was still a placeholder using simple colored boxes. No effects to it, just default boxes. The bar that is used to show where you'll click was also a weird red arrow above the skill check bar instead of being on it. After finishing all the machines, panic mode started. Surprisingly, there were no noticeable changes to it. The timer ticked down, and once you got into the elevator, it closed. During the elevator ride to floor 2, Dandy had appeared. He said his usual dialogue and actually sold items as he usually would. However, trying to buy them was a bust, because 1, tapes didn't exist, and he didn't gain any from completing machines getting seen by Twisted or completing a floor, and 2, the buying just didn't work. No deny sound or message saying you don't have enough tapes, it just didn't work. Eventually, he went away like he usually should, and the elevator door opened. Floor 2 was basically just floor 1 over again, just with the chance of uncommon Twisted appearing. As per usual, I did the machines, got seen a few times, then booked it to the elevator. On the elevator to floor 3, the usual cards showed up. From my multiple playthroughs, they never changed and were just the usual cards from the actual game. After the cards went away, floor 3 started, and it was a blackout. Weirdly enough, this floor was the floor where items and other things began appearing. However, I could only pick up tapes and capsules. Even if I could pick up items, there wasn't an inventory that allowed me to use them. Midway through this floor, I encountered a weird occurrence. When I picked up capsules, they gave their usual messages. But on this floor, the capsules always sometimes gave the message, research get _stalker _AMT1. There was a Twisted that has always appeared on this floor named Stalker. The Stalker was a Twisted that had always appeared on floor 3, and I had always gone on blackouts. However, I had never seen this Twisted, meaning I have no clue what it looks like. Maybe it has a genuine model, but I have no clue. I was never spotted by it either, it was just there. After my encounter with the Stalker, I completed the machine to minimal difficulty, mostly due to the Stalker being a Twisted, causing there to only be one real threat, and went on to the elevator to go to floor 4. These floors are much more weird than the previous floors, being visually weird and containing more unusual things that happened during the run. They were much more unsettling than the previous ones. On the elevator, Dandy appeared again, however his text box was the default white box. His voice lines were the same, but his text box was different. After that weird oddity, the floor loaded. But I noticed something when the countdown for the elevator door opening had started. The game looked more saturated now. When the door opened, I collected some capsules, and lo and behold, I got a new research message. Research get _sentinel _AMT1. A Twisted named Sentinel was in this floor. The Sentinel was a Twisted that spawned at floors 4 and 8. It functioned like Razzle and Dazzle, but it instantly killed you upon activated it. Its radius was also much larger than R&D's, making it much more tedious to wander around on the floor. It looked like a stone statue of sorts, with eyes engraved onto it. It looked out of place. I also found out that this floor added a rare Twisted to the mix, which when combined with the Sentinel, made for an annoying floor whenever a rare Twisted appeared. Other than that, the floor was mostly the same as the previous ones. After completing the machines, I went on to floor 5. Floor 5 was the craziest floor this game had to offer yet. In the elevator, the first thing that was off was that only 2 specific cards appeared, with both of them being card _placeholder. Their descriptions just read, an ode for you. They both did nothing, at least nothing noticeable. When the floor was loaded, I heard a sound I not only didn't expect, but also didn't want to appear. The floor opened to a place with default textures and a thin hallway. The floor led into a maze, with V. Let's go. I also found out that there was only 2 machines on the floor instead of 4, which had somewhat of a clue as to why that was. The last thing was that a message had appeared, stating the following. Do not rush. It hears. Find the beacons. It was an unusual quote which I had no idea what it meant at first, until I began to run. That is when I heard V's footsteps grow faster and closer. She hears whenever you run. I collected some capsules while walking away from the area. The research message said, research_get_v.ode_amt1. V was the twisted that only spawned a 4-5 as it's only twisted alongside spawning pop-ups and hearing when you miss a skill check. She also hears when you run. This made her much more tedious to deal with, seeing as you could not run if you failed a machine, meaning you had to slowly walk away from it, otherwise she would get closer to you rather than being at a safe distance from you. She was black and white with a realistic eyeball on her screen. She otherwise looked like your usual twisted design. The 4 was much more difficult than usual, because even though you could see the machine's pipes growing higher and higher up into the sky, you couldn't see the way out of the maze, meaning that you had to guess it where you were going was correct. And with V's pop-ups constantly appearing as well as the limitation of walking and not knowing where she was, made the 4 that much more stressful and tedious. Thankfully, after completing the machine, the timer for panic mode was 120 seconds, making it much easier to get to the elevator on time. 4-6 was the last floor where the saturation was minimal. On the elevator, Dandy appeared, completely textureless, with his text box reading, "It's a mistake continuing." All of his items became default parts. But still held the name of what they would have been. However, even though I haven't bought from him in the 2 times I'd seen him, the music from his speakers still remained normal. When the elevator door opened, the 2 map types of the kitchen and greenhouse had a chance of appearing disc 4. The 4 was actually the most normal of these 3 4s, with no weird events or twisteds. It was just a normal 4, with the exception of the saturation and being able to pick items up. It was almost like a break from the madness of the game. Especially after what happened on the 4-5, this was the worst that the 4s I've gotten. By this point, all the items on the 4 became default parts, and all of the 4s were black and white. All of the twisteds also appeared to be faceless. The game goes downhill from here. 4-7 was an interesting 4. The textures were low quality, the game was getting more and more choppy, and now there were 3 twisteds instead of 2. That was unusual because another twisted isn't added until 4-13 of a regular Dandy World run on single player. There was still 4 machines, but they began taking longer and longer to complete. From floors 1 to 6, the machines took around 15 to 17 seconds, but now they took 19 to 21 seconds. The capsule's messages began to get all messed up too, reading, "Research get underscore twisted name ode underscore amt1." The game was tearing itself apart more and more. Despite this, the 4 wasn't too difficult. 4-8 was even harder than the last. In the elevator, Dandy appeared one last time, saying, "Nothing." The glitched text box appeared, but no text was inside of it. The items were now black sensors, almost as if something vulgar was underneath the sensor. Picking them up was off the table, because the pop-up for being able to buy the item was gone. Once he left, 4-8 revealed itself. Something was off though. The twisted wander points were visible. Twisted also moved more choppy now, but they also moved faster. This time, the sentinel was here, and standing in the middle of the map. The twisted also were not stopping occasionally, but kept moving like Twisted Flutter would gain this 4 complete was a nightmare. 4-9 was the final 4 before 4-10, and it was the worst. There was only one card in the elevator that had no name or description. The image on the card was a realistic eye. The creepy part is, if you choose this card, Dandy's shop doors open and close rapidly, before stopping 1 to 2 seconds later. It doesn't make a sound, it just opens and closes at a rapid pace, which scared me the first time around. Entering the 4, I got a message similar to the ODEs. It read, "Don't let it find you." I was confused until I saw a twisted that looked like Twisted Pebble but had realistic eyes on the cartoony ones, and instead of sharp teeth, they were more human shaped. It was the only twisted there. To make matters worse, it was a blackout. But instead of black fog, it was white, which unironically made it more difficult to see. However, Pebble never commonly attacked. When it did, I see him rush by me with his jaw as wide as it is, and letting out a distorted howl. There was no warning to this either, it just happens at random. The lack of ambience also really sets the mood after finishing the machines. Instead of 30 seconds for panic mode, there was 15 seconds. I rushed to the elevator with only 2 seconds left on the timer before I had escaped. Floor 10 was the most unusual floor in this game thus far. In the elevator, the graphics returned to normal, as Dandy's store arose, but he wasn't there, nor were any items. The speaker didn't even play music, it was dead silent. Eventually, the shop closes and the elevator door opens, revealing the first variant of the rainbow rooms. There were 5 machines, and the only twisted there was Poppy. She was paler than usual, and still had no face. She did still give chase, but lost interest extremely quickly. The machines took the longest on this floor than any other, being 28 to 30 seconds. After completing all the machines though, panic mode never started. The elevator never opened. I was wandering aimlessly for about 45 seconds when suddenly, I watched as Poppy begins walking in place. I thought my game was lagging, until I watched the progress bar flicker in and out of existence. Textures became low quality and even began disappearing. Around 15 seconds later, the progress bar goes away, and the floor becomes black and white again, before a heavily distorted version of Claire de Lune began playing. I watched as a tall, lanky dandy with a realistic face began slowly floating towards me. His model almost looked like one of its old twisted designs. Even if I hid behind something, he would phase right through it. The more I lived, the faster he got, until eventually, he caught me. There are multiple death screens depending on how you died. If you died through a regular twisted, the death screen is normal, except for the fact that it says that you've encountered 0 twisteds. Having the timer run out in panic mode actually has a special way of killing you instead of the instant death that's given in the actual game. The death screen says time's up rather than that's a wrap like it usually would. Dying to an entity like the Sentinel or VODE gives the death screen a special look. There, the background is black instead of being the elevator door, as well as the text being red. Throughout my multiple playthroughs, I found different things every time. Disappearing posters. Any poster that includes Danny could completely remove the texture of said poster. Danny can go from his normal shop to the desk in the UGC room. At any point during a run, a white dandy cutout with a face mimicking its ODE form. A white dandy cutout with a face mimicking its ODE form can follow you when you aren't looking. It doesn't hurt you or kill you.
That's literally Bendy!
But it's more so just creepy. If you manage to not make it to the elevator on time during panic mode, a scene will play where all the parts of the map slowly disappear until nothing but a wooden base plate. The game forces your character to walk off of the base plates, which causes weird shadowy tunes to attack and kill your tune. During 410, if you get Poppy to push you into the elevator at just the right angle after completing every machine, because the developer gave every twisted collision for some reason, you can get into the elevator and end the floor, getting you to floor 11. When the door opens though, it's just a blank wooden base plate, as you still wait for Danny to appear and kill you. The game says there are 0 to 0 machines on floor 11, but due to the lack of machines, panic mode never starts, with floor 11 being the true final floor of the game. Creepypasta by the real Meckel.
Faceless Shrimpo is shrimpoed out of face. He is stuck in an endless void. There's also a spooky version that kicks you out, but I'm pretty sure it's fake. The original video of Faceless Shrimpo currently has 490,000 views. Faceless Shrimpo originates from a TikToker, but the first video uploaded on YouTube is by a channel going by the name of Tooniverse Creations. That sounds familiar. They have a video where a machine falls on Shrimpo, making him a twisted. Tisha cleans Shrimpo's face, making him normal. Though, after cleaning Shrimpo's face again, his face disappears. The video uploaded on the 16th of December, a day before the KC99 version came out. KC99, the spooky faceless Shrimpo, aka the actual creepypasta, is fake. There is also no way to summon him, I'm pretty sure. It just kicks you. Voice lines. Oh, a visitor? I don't get visitors often. I hope I make a good first impression. My name is Shrimpo. You might know that name. I don't know what happened exactly to me or why I'm like this. I remember my past life, though. I was very rude and non-caring, and I didn't care about anything or anyone. I hated everything. But now, I wish I could take it all back. My past was like I knew no definition of misery. Like sadness wasn't a concept to me. I never truly experienced it. I only gave sadness to others. I want to take it all back, but now that I truly know what misery feels like. I've been trapped in this limbo for God knows how long. I don't know how I got here, and I'm lucky you found it. I don't know how I got here, and I'm lucky you found me. Very, very lucky. Well, you look like you want to go. I don't want to waste your time too much. You should really get going, but please visit me. Visit me soon, friend. She appears as a gray Brightney, similar to Vintage but darker. Only an info board of her remains. Most of her pictures were lost to time. Zane is normally friendly, but can give bad people short bans. She has no true friends. All of her friends talked bad about her behind her back. She snapped and committed unaliving. She saves people from bad relationships, plus ghosts. She has a small chance of spawning when you summon something, or have a bad relationship with someone. Party Pebble is a pebble with a party hat. In Publix, he appears to have closed eyes and an excited mouth, but in private servers, he has a worried mouth and mad eyes. Party Pebble was a skin released in the Easter update before the recent Connie and Pebble skins, but was removed 5 minutes after. In a public server, he would be a silly little happy boy. But what makes him scary to some is when in a public server, he is happy boy. But when in a private server, he has a blank, almost robotic expression, devoid of any emotion. Now taking the name of Mad Pebble, Twisted Pebble would somehow stalk you, only floor 5 and up. Though, if you ever see this skin anywhere, not on social media, but on Roblox, be careful. Though, the skin originates from a fan game made a few months ago, made right before the Easter update's arrival. It's fake, even though the creepypasta is real. Note, a group of hunters found a shadow Party Pebble, which looks pretty similar to Mesh. A theory might be that Party Pebble could be Pebble.LiveScript's second form. Party Pebble and Finn, the fishbowl, have the most media views if we count videos that included them. Party Pebble's original creator is unknown. Party Pebble is the most unique ghost right now. Felix is an entity who is temporarily and incredibly common in Blue Monto to encounter from March 14th to March 27th, 2025. If you were to encounter him on a floor, you would casually just see him walking around, ichor dripping out of the stump of his neck and him dragging his chainsaw across the ground. But if you were to fail an extraction, he would automatically know where you are. He will start carrying his chainsaw with 2 hands and start running to your position. If he is to catch you, an animation will play of him turning on his chainsaw and slicing through the player's tune until they explode into ichor. After that, the player would be sent back to the lobby with a 5-day ban notice. After multiple reports of him in the Blush Crunch Discord server, Quell was able to stall Felix for a while. Now he will appear a lot less common, only really appearing if playing as a common and in a solo run. Felix is a headless Finn with a bone sticking out of his neck. He also carries a chainsaw that he often drags around with one hand. And his body is almost completely covered in ichor. Creepypasta by Flisher and Griffin 2009. Genia Zionok, or Genie Zizan, is a whole retake thus redone of the original Faceless Shrimpo made by Hella originally. He was intended to be the main opponent and replacement for the fan version of Xenophanes in an upcoming versus Sonic.exe Friday Night Funkin' mix called Funkin' View, which is still in development currently. Genia Zionok, or Gen Zion, is a human spirit turned demonic entity residing in Dandy's world, being possessed by a Shrimpo model in the game files. He's supposed to be a secret character that's been hidden throughout the Blush Crunch history. He was very secretive, but curious with the digital land around him and kept a low profile after an accident that resulted in his death. His soul goes inside a computer and now torments the 3 individuals that took part in his death, trapped in the game alongside him. There's no actual summon information to find Genia, but some rumors say he can be around in Dandy's lobby shop or any Rainbow's Room variant. Once he's summoned or found, he usually behaves like a normal Twisted, except he's not after you, but he could sometimes do as if he's on true form. He behaves like a lethal Twisted, furiously looking for you. Genia Zionok is usually considered to be a very lonely bully in school, known for his interest in bullying, stealing, vandalizing, and several bad things he liked to do. One day, he decided to pull a prank on a girl from one of the popular ones, who was Kayla Norsemower. He tried to place a whoopee cushion on her chair during math class. Until then, he got caught by a teacher and was sent to the principal's office. After that, he got expelled from school. When he got home, his parents got into a huge fight, which led him to a divorce. Genia stayed with his mom for a while that day. Genia couldn't do anything else but feel hopeless and helplessly hurt. He regrets everything he has done. A few years later, his mom passed away, and he grew up very well. He became more mature and smarter, still remembered about his past. After his mom's death, he decided to play Roblox to comfort himself, since he used to play that game when he was a kid. As he started to play a bit of Dandy's World, suddenly, his PC screen began to crash, and showed a black man figure standing in the middle, watching Genia outside the screen. The figure began to ask Genia some weird and diabolical questions about his life, and then decided to make him an offer to reenact revenge against all of the people in his past. All the figure needed in exchange was his soul. Genia agreed to the deal and found himself reborn in Dandy's world with godly control over the world. His appearance is similar to his Toon counterpart, except he has no face, pale blush and skin color, black limbs, and a little bit of bruising on his face. During the first time in Digital World, Genia used to be scared and furious within the place and players around him. He was an introvert during that time. When meeting with Blue Montos, he would usually think about what they will be like. If they're aggressive, he would be squaring up on them. If they're nice, he just doesn't know what to do. Genia has so many reworks. This will be the final rework. Genia is inspired from Pyro M, him, and Super Mario EXE. Genia can die very easily, but attempting to kill him can prove difficult. Genia's favorite games are the Mario games. He's a huge Mario fan. Before his death, Genia had a deep connection with Kayla. Genia can take any Toon and Dandy's World as vessels. Genia is not really that strong, which is already stated. He can die a little easily. Genia sometimes gets bored of torturing his victims. He just gives them some free time. Genia has a wife. Genia has a kid, but he created her using his powers. Despite how almost powerful he is, there are some things that can weaken or frighten him. Genia's disguise is not perfect. He tries too hard to act like any Toon in any vessel, but frequently fails at doing so, as his emotions often get in the way of an accurate performance. Genia can be hurt by any objects you will see in a fight. Utterance is a twisted brusher model lacking proper textures, instead taking on the textures of other Toons or Twisteds at random. It is always seen in the default animation position. Utterance, if successfully summoned, will wander a random map for an unclear period of time. Its textures vary, slowly cycling between multiple wild wanders. Alongside this wandering behavior, Utterance will send strange messages in chat. Some of these messages seem to be common English phrases, while others seem to be complete gibberish. Messages sent by Utterance often do not relate or respond to other messages in chat, but there have been a few exceptions where Utterance has given replies that somewhat align to other messages sent in chat. It is currently unclear if these are coincidences. Utterance can only appear in roleplay mode servers. Utterance seems to target emptier, quieter servers. While utterance is still extremely rare, its odds of spawning can be slightly increased by decreasing the player count and sending fewer messages in chat. Utterance will show up at a completely random time and depart just as randomly. Utterance's words do not correlate to its movements. Its movements are likely entirely random, as it often walks directly into walls. Utterance's appearances potentially mirrors that of one of the players in the server, although this is a theory. This theory doesn't account for Utterance constantly shifting textures, which typically outnumbers players in the servers. It is potentially an interesting lead though. Creepypasta by Concerned Civilian? Hi, Concerned Civilian. The Real Rudy is a creepypasta that is mostly passive, but can be pretty dangerous. To summon, Step 1. Become Rudy. Step 2. Spam Reveal Yourself, Real Rudy, until it tags. Step 3. After it tags, say Merry Christmas. Step 4. If he appears, you will hear a distorted version of Jingle Bells. Step 5. After that, the chat will say, your friend, the Real Rudy, has joined the game. Step 6. He will spawn as a regular Rudy facing backwards. He will try everything to hide his face. If you see his face, he bans you for a week. After that week, your Rudy normal skin will be replaced with the Real Rudy. If you don't have Rudy, you'll get Rudy for free. So yeah, that's that. Tier 2 is actually completed. I really want that free Rudy. I'm gonna be trying that. Anyways, it's time for Tier 3. I hope you guys are liking this video so far. Tier 3 time. Yes. Weird Boxen is an unknown Boxen-themed entity seeming to have cogno-hazardous behavior. It's a highly dangerous entity and only the best hunters should be sent out to find it. Weird Boxen seems to have a long, slender black body, the bottom mostly, made up of a large puddle of black ink. He has a skeletal torso, possibly originating from Twisted Dial, and has a high contrast Boxen head on the top of its body. It's unknown if he has an actual face. No images have been able to capture it. Summoning info has been redacted in order to prevent any more harm. Do not go hunting for this entity at any cost. Creepypasta by Griffin 2009. Hi. I work in Blushcomb Studio. I work as a tester. I test updates and all that, but I'm not here to talk about that. I want to talk about the version of Angel that was never shown to the public. One day, somewhere in November 2023, I got a message from Quell. She said, hey, can you test this build? It's not fully finished, so... I said, okay, send me the file. And she did. The file was called Angel Build. I downloaded it and opened it in Roblox Studio. The loading was the same, but the page to choose Poppy or Boxen was much darker. Plus, Poppy and Boxen's designs were different. They looked more 80s-like. After I chose Poppy, I was in the lobby. It was more realistic and a bit dark. The textures and models were more realistic, plus the camera was shaking a little. I saw elevators and I went inside them. The loading screen started. After that, I was in the game. I come out of the elevator and it was the rainbow rooms. The floor looked like it was from Silent Hill PT and I sworn I could have heard crying. It was Twisted Brightney. Turns out there was Twisted Brightney and Twisted Toodles on this floor. I started doing the first machine. I failed a skill check and then Twisted Toodles ran towards me, but her model. It was not all cartoony-like. She looked more realistic. And she looked like she was burned alive. Anyways, I ran away but lost one heart. After she was gone, I finished the machine and then I was looking around the floor and I saw Twisted Brightney. She looked taller. Her dress was longer and covered in ichor. Her face was disturbing. She had one eye missing and an open mouth that had some yellow-green stuff around it. After she saw me, the chase started. She hit me and I lost a heart. Now I have one heart. I started doing a machine with a radio next to it. The radio turned on and a message started playing, saying something like, "As the congregational debate over gun control flares up yet again, we regret to report the murder of the wife and her 2 children by their husbands and father. The father purchased a rifle used in the crime at his local gun store 2 days earlier. The brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon, the day of the crime. The father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved his rifle, and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, his father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had a good sense of hiding in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot in the chest from point-blank range. The mother, who was shot in the stomach, was pregnant at the time. Police arriving on scene after neighbors called 911 found the father in his car, listening to the radio. Several days before the murder, neighbors say they heard the father repeating a sequence of numbers in a loud voice. They said it was like he was chanting some strange spell. There was another family shot to death in the same state last month, and in December last year. A man used a rifle and a meat cleaver to murder his entire family. In each case, the perpetrators are fathers. State police says a string of domestic homicides appears unrelated, though it could be part of a larger trend, such as employment, childcare, and other social issues facing the average family. I listened to it so much that I didn't notice how I quickly finished the machine. After that, I was about to go find another machine. The voice from the radio said, "Look behind you." I said, "Look behind you." I did as the radio told me. And then there was a twisted Brittany jump scare. Her face was really disturbing. She broke my head and the whole screen was black. After that, it showed me "That's a wrap" scene. I closed the build and wrote to Quill, "What the hell was that?" Then she wrote, "Oops, sorry, wrong file." Then she sent me the file with the current version of Danny's rolled. I said my opinion and it all ended. I deleted the file with the build and continued working with Quell. You might be asking me, why didn't you tell the Bunchcrunch Studio server about it? Well, Quell and other mods were deleting my messages, even though Quell confirmed by herself that the build was real. I don't know why I deleted it. I don't know why Quell deleted it. Detour is an anomalous Roblox experience titled Dandy. It moves often and has never been spotted having the same URL twice. The uploader of the account is always a throwaway one, and varies between uploads. The likelihood of Detour appearing on any given day is small. Detour was discovered by a small Roblox YouTuber on May 11, 2025. Out of respect for this YouTuber and their family, their identity has been omitted. It was found in a now deleted video titled Playing Awful Dangerous Bootlegs. Detour was the last game shown in the video and started in the thumbnail, being the highlight due to the strange icon and interesting behavior. The discovery of Detour resulted in the eventual deletion of the small content creator's YouTube account, as well as multiple other socials. Detour, when joined, will rapidly redirect you through many other experiences. Most of these experiences have spammy garbage titles that hold no meaning. They will then eventually redirect you to a new experience before they can load. Eventually, after many redirects, Detour will redirect you into Danger World. Strangely, those who have risked using Detour have reported experiencing far more paranormal activity than normal. More ghost sightings. Oh, stop. What was I reading? More ghost sightings occur more often, sometimes overwhelmingly so. Unfortunately, using Detour is risky. Those who have used it often have their accounts and, in rare circumstances, their personal information compromised. Additionally, it can get you banned from Danger for exploiting. Detour, unlike other Roblox experiences, lacks a listed like-to-dislike ratio when seen in search results. Detour was given its name due to the many redirects it sends you through, just for it to end up in Danger World. Creepypasta by Concerned Civilian. I don't really feel comfortable reading this one, but it's called Nil, but I'm gonna put like the thing on the screen. You wanna read it, you can. I don't wanna read this out loud. I don't trust it to not curse me. Yeah, sorry. Existential Crisis appears as a salted caramel skinned sprout, with a single exception: his face is blocked out. 2, mentioned later, is part of the team encountering him. Go to your private server with another person and go to roleplay mode together. Make your roleplay names 1 and 2. 1 must be Sprout wearing the salted caramel skin, and 2 will be normal V. 1 goes 2 in the middle between Dandy and Dialshaw. 2 must hide when 1 is in position, and must hide in a decent spot. 1 must find 2. 1 must tell 2, you are unworthy of my acceptance, but I must tell you at once. You do not exist. Do not use capitals for anything after saying the quote mentioned in step 7. Now, 2 will leave the room and go to a different map. After 2 is gone, 1 will leave the game. Wait for about 5 minutes. He will stay for 3 days in runs, days of roleplays, and days of lobbies. Just things in the official, no modded Dandy's world, only visible to you. He will act strange at first, spamming random letters for about the next 6 minutes. After this, he will slowly manipulate you into doing bad things, such as griefing people in runs, hating on people, exploiting, etc. Throughout the 3 days in Dandy's world, he will encourage you to do worse and worse things. He might hate on you immensely and go into personal things for posting explicit content to children's platforms, etc. He will manipulate you to do worse things faster if you play as V. The way he communicates is through voice and chat. He sounds like a male 20-year-old, whatever you think Sprout would typically sound like. He appears to have no username, so the message just appears in chat. He only chats when your sound is off. You can see his message even if you are not available to chat features. The paragraph will help you handle existential crisis. Do not talk in all capitals like this. Hello. He prefers if you talk with grammar. This will drastically decrease the rate of his messages. Redorance is a strange occurrence that can happen when players are isolated in Dandy's world. It is seemingly tied to utterance, but the relation is unclear. Redorance, when present, will take the form of several twisted Brushing models linked together, each having seemingly random textures applied to them. Manifestations differ heavily in appearance, but all have similar behavior. Redorance instances will flail randomly into the air, somewhat resembling a withering tendril or tentacle. Though mostly harmless, they are capable of knocking your tune if they have enough momentum when swinging. Summoning information. Redorance can only appear if the following conditions are met. The player is playing as Shelly. The player is alone in the server for a prolonged period of time. The player is not in a run. It is unclear what other conditions, if any, are necessary to spawn Redorance. There is the possibility it is up to random chance in spawning. Redorance will slowly grow out of a seemingly randomized spot on the currently occupied map. This spot can be on any flat surface, including walls or roofs. Redorance instances will not move from the spot they grow from. November 14th, 2025 incident. On November 14th, 2025, Dandy's world servers experienced a mass slowdown. People were unable to load into servers properly, data even failing to load. This event is strangely lined up perfectly with a strange encounter with the Redorance. The player, who wishes to remain anonymous to avoid backlash from the wider community, reports that an Redorance instance grew rapidly, enveloping the entire map. They were reportedly forced into first person, their UI breaking as the map extended. This player claims that they have recorded this encounter after it began to spiral, but this footage is currently unavailable. Despite being able to spawn anywhere, Redorance instances are mostly summoned inside the lobby. Despite being able to spawn anywhere, Redorance instances are mostly commonly summoned inside the lobby. Unlike Utterance, the twisted Brushing models making up Redorance does not change textures. Creepypasta by Concerned Civilian. Hello there, my name is ILikeDandy's27, that's my Roblox username. Many months ago, I was playing my favorite game, Dandy's World. I was in a solo run, grabbing baskets to get Bassy, and I was loading into a floor and I heard Twisted Astro, but when I spotted him, he didn't look twisted. He looked like a player playing Astro, never mind that. When I saw him, my game started glitching, lagging. I could barely move, and after a minute of that, my game crashed, and I loaded into something new. The game was nothing like Dandy's World. I could walk around and that was the only similarity. This world is filled with these liminal spaces. I would walk through a door and it would be a different room. Imagine walking into a small house and there was a massive soft playground bigger than the house inside it. And I'm not alone in this world. Something follows me to every space, this massive black monster. I've named it Tastro. Due to his similarities to his Astro, I forgot my own name. I tried telling my friends about it, but no one believes me. Every time I press the button to play Danger Roll, it just loads me into this world instead. My friends are getting frustrated with me for not joining their runs. My friends don't believe me about Tastro and just think I'm messing with them. I put him here, hope someone believes me. Update, my head's starting to hurt every time I play this game. My eyes sting when I look at my screen, but I can't turn away. Something is drawing me to my computer. My face gets closer and closer without me realizing. I've started falling asleep and seeing the liminal spaces in Tastro in my dreams. I'm hallucinating walking through doors and seeing empty, yellow, damp office walls. Maybe I am crazy like my friends say. My computer, the game, Tastro's world has been starting to call to me. I feel hands grabbing at my limbs and body whenever I play. Hands wrapping around my arms, pulling me. Something's wrong. He's a black blob with sharp teeth and a blue mask similar to Astro, but that thing isn't Astro. He has multiple arms and is made out of a black liquid material. His body ends at a point like a long tail. I have no good pictures of him. He scatters away before I can catch a screenshot. I wasn't always like this. This world has changed me. He doesn't like photos. He watches me as I walk through his world, observing me. He doesn't hurt me, doesn't speak, doesn't make noise. He's gentle. Just follows me on my journey through the many liminal spaces of his home. He doesn't like touch. He doesn't like photos. There's no option to pet him. This game sucks. Everything hurts. I don't know what he wants from me or I'm in his world. I'm trapped. Yay! Oh, what? Ikermoon is a dangerous ghost that can be easily summoned. They are really scary. He mostly appears in his own map, but can appear in lobby. Summoning method. Needs to be done in roleplay in a private server. Everyone in the server must be Astro. Can be done alone. Everyone must line up and type this chant. Ikermoon. Where are you, Ikermoon? We don't want you here. Later, everyone must hide. Ability 1. Once touched, he will ban your account. Ability 2. He can possess you and make you type weird messages in Morse code. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for tier 3. It was actually pretty cool. I liked tier 3. Anyways, these last 2 tiers are pretty short, but they are pretty odd, to say the least. In a creepy way. Well, to me at least. Okay, let's get to tier 4 now. Cruel was first spotted during the Halloween event. Once encountered, Cruel will redirect you to a high-contrast space plate with the Scorpio sign on what is assumed to be the spawn point. Once you have spawned in, you are forced into a first-person perspective and you are extremely slowed down. You are forced to look at Cruel, who is farther away from the spawn. If you look at it for too long, Cruel will go towards you at high speeds. Once she reaches you, you will be kicked from the game. Cruel is a seemingly faceless, inverted Tisha, with one elongated arm and one missing arm. Cruel also allegedly has a missing leg in the photo. Cruel has a red tissue, white head, and a yellow and black body. Note that lighting is most likely that Cruel is colored that way. Currently, there are no known ways to summon Cruel, other than you have to be chased by Twisted Tisha on one heart with no stamina to reach the unknown game it is in. The person who has encountered Cruel reported seeing a distorted object, sometimes having the Scorpio sign on it. It is unlikely that Cruel is responsible for any distorted objects, due to Cruel only appearing in the unknown game pictured in the photo. The Flashy Louie exploit, also known as Flashy Louie or FL, was a rumor involving an exploit script that caused a peak of seizures and epilepsy in players of the Roblox horror game called Dandy's World, involving the common tool known as Louie, with the first incident being around the character's release, December 6, 2024. Rumors say that an exploiter, or more, will join any server and activate the script. The way to use this script is unknown and won't be shared here regardless, and won't stop, even if any players ask them to, until Roblox kicks them out for inactivity. This exploit is not always patched and needs to update, very rarely. Players can still be seen using this script before it's repatched once more. Due to this exploit, the player base of Dangerous World will drop, but increase once another update dropped. Many players have been transported to the hospital after simultaneously experiencing countless seizures. Some theories suggest that the exploit even caused players to rip out their own eyes, or even see nightmarish visions related to the game. But none of these were proven true and are unconfirmed. All factors leading to the depressed Poppy model incidents are unknown. By Joseph the Snail. So, that's it for tier 4. It is now time for the last tier, aka the disturbing tier. Let's go. Danny's World Virus is a game that pretends to be Dandy's World, but is actually a virus. When you open the app, a loading screen appears. Then you get into the game and you hear strange, loud music. Then the colors start to change and glow strangely. Then Dandy appears in front of your screen. The app closes, your phone's background changes to a gore image, and Dandy hovers over your screen the whole time. Your phone will then turn off because the system has been destroyed by the virus. Who discovered it? The real hamster. Real or not? Possibly yes. Hey, I just wanted to note, I did my own research. I found the original video from the screenshot plus way more evidence. So I'm 99% sure this is actually true, except the gore part, and I'm pretty sure that the system destroying. Both possibly being either unrecorded or an over-exaggeration. It is definitely possible the creepypasta version does exist though, due to there being more than one version of the virus online. I decided to not try it, but maybe I'll change my mind. If I do end up trying the virus, I'll put it on the screen. If not, I'll just put a YouTube video, which sadly could be faked, so take it with a grain of salt.
Let's talk about dangerous viruses.
Danny's World Virus.
Danny's World Virus is a game that pretends to be Danny's World, but it's actually a virus. When you open the app, a loading screen appears. Then you get into the game and you hear strange, loud music. Then the colors start to change and glow strangely. Then Danny appears in front of your screen. The app closes, your phone's background changes to a gore image, and Danny hovers on your screen the whole time. Your phone will then turn off because the system has been destroyed by the virus.
Stay safe.
Lifeless.jpg appears to be a JPEG file, containing an image of Poppy's info card artwork. The image is a bit of a lower quality, but you can clearly tell that it's been edited. In all honesty, we don't actually know all much about this file. It got spread around. When a user on TikTok had posted the video including a screenshot of the image of their files with text on the screen saying, "I just tried Danny's World for the first time and then I got this on my files after closing Roblox. What is that thing?" The user had also stated in the caption that they also heard a really loud noise in the game after making it a few floors into the run. However, it's hard to believe them on that front, given that the video itself was soon deleted after posting. Aside from that, there isn't much backstory, unfortunately. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Sorry it took so long to come out, but I hope you guys enjoyed. By the way guys, what was your favorite creepypasta from this video, or in general? But I hope you enjoyed this video, and actually, I just wanted to tell a story here. Like, when I researched this, some of these I couldn't sleep because of some of these, especially the virus one. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you some other time. Stay silly and spooky. Sorry.